Hello kiddos, how are you? Welcome to PW Gulf. The revision topic for today is quadratic equations, class 11. Quadratic equations as such is not a separate chapter in your NCERT textbook, but a very important topic when accounted from JEE Mains point of view, and hence we are also doing it separately and not in the chapter complex number. So hope you all are doing fine. I'm very happy, excited for today's class, which will be again short and sweet. These are the topics we will be covering today: roots of quadratic equations, how to find square root of a complex number, relation between the roots and coefficients, nature of roots, and in the end, graph of quadratic equation. Now, this is a very vast topic, can be taken in extreme depth, can be taken in a very shallow form. I have covered it till a middle path. Let me know if you want it in more detail. Well, this is enough according to me for all of you. Here is the basic introduction to quadratic equations. We know what is a quadratic equation, something which has degree 2. Equation means there should be an LHS and an RHS. The general form of quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a should not be 0. The first term should not be 0, because if a is 0, it will not remain a quadratic equation. It will turn into linear or constant. So ensuring a is not 0, everything other can be 0. We don't mind that. But highest power should be 2. The roots are nothing but values of x. When we find the values of x which satisfy the given equation, they are called as roots. This is everything we learned in class 10th, isn't it? A lot of things are same as what you have studied in class 10th. That's why I've already written it. What are the 3 methods of solving quadratic equation? Factorization, your favorite method, then formula method, also called as Sridharacharya formula method, and complete square method. 3 methods, right? The first 2 methods probably you all know, but the third method was deleted from the CBSE syllabus because of COVID, Corona, and maybe few of you don't know this method. Again, it's very simple and interesting method. When you cannot do factorization or you don't want to use formula method is well sufficient for all the questions. But the complete square method is also an interesting method where you add and subtract the third term. Which is half into coefficient of x the whole square. So for those who have studied, must be relating to it. In factorization method, we just try to find the factors. How to find the factors? Middle term splitting. The middle term splitting happens. We find 2 numbers such that their sum is equal to b and product is equal to a into c. This should be a into c. I'll correct myself here. A into c. Sum should be equal to middle term and product should be equal to a into c. That is what factorization is, isn't it? Talking about the discriminant, which is of importance to us today. Discriminant taken as b square minus 4ac. This discriminant can be greater than 0, equal to 0 or less than 0, isn't it, kiddos? When it's greater than 0, we have studied it will have 2 roots which are real and unequal. When the discriminant is equal to 0, it has only 1 root, or you can say it has 2 roots but both the roots are equal. So as good as saying only 1 root which is real. And when the discriminant is less than 0, in that case, we studied in class 10 that the roots will be imaginary. It won't be real. We use the word real, not real. Not real is actually imaginary, which we studied in the chapter complex number, and hence we learn complex number before studying quadratic equations in class 11. This is of importance to us. Today we are going to deal with questions which has discriminant less than 0. Greater than 0, equal to 0 is already done by us. Less than 0 is what we will talk about. Okay. Now one more thing, guys. One more thing. One second. Yeah. Before I move on to the questions, The questions are simple. Using the formula method, we will find the roots of equation. All the questions will have discriminant to be less than 0. We will get 2 roots. Why? There is a basic formula. A polynomial equation of n degree. A polynomial equation of n degree will have how many roots? N roots. So if it's a second degree quadratic equation is second degree. If it's a second degree polynomial equation, it will have 2 roots. If it's a cubic equation, it will have 3 roots. If it's a linear equation, it will have only 1 root, 1 solution. If it is biquadratic, it will have 4 solutions. So we are dealing with quadratic equations. That means degree is 2, number of solution, number of values of x will also be 2. Here is the first question. X square plus x plus 1 equal to 0. Let's solve it by the formula method. X will be, comparing it with ax square plus bx plus c, you all know that, right? Minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac, 4 ones are upon 2 times a, minus 1 plus or minus, in the discriminant you all can see there is minus 3, and root of minus 3 studied in complex number, it's root 3i upon 2. This is the value of x, which can be written as x is minus 1 plus root 3i by 2, or x is minus 1 minus root 3i by 2. Can you see the 2 roots, the 2 solutions of the quadratic equation which are not real, they are unequal and they are imaginary. One more thing to notice here, the only difference between them is the sign of I. That is, whenever there is a difference of I changing into minus I, they are known as conjugates of each other. What are they known as? Conjugates of each other. Conjugate means when I is replaced with minus I or minus I is replaced with I. Change in sign. The sign of I changes, they are called as conjugates. So here every minus 1, 2, 2. Root 3, I. Only this plus I becomes minus I. They are conjugates of each other. And to be specific, they are complex conjugates of each other, guys. What are they? They are complex conjugates of each other. One more question. Your A is minus 1, B is plus 1 and C is minus 2. When you simplify, x is equal to minus B plus or minus root of B square minus 4AC. So 4AC, 4 2s are 8 upon 2 times A. This is minus 1 plus or minus root of minus 7 upon minus 2. Root of minus 7 can be written as root 7i. And once again, can you all notice there are 2 complex conjugate roots? One is with a positive sign and the other is with a negative sign. These are the 2 complex conjugate roots. That's what I have concluded here. For a note, if A, B, C are rational coefficients of quadratic equation. What are A, B, C? They are rational coefficients. I mean, they should not be imaginary or irrational. If your A, B, C are irrational, then the roots will not be complex conjugate. But if they are rational, then the roots will appear in conjugate pairs. So one positive I, one negative I. That's the only difference. Understood? Very good. This is the formula which we are using. Minus B plus minus root of B square minus 4AC upon 2A. If I say that discriminant is less than 0 or B square minus 4AC is less than 0. B square minus 4AC is negative. Take the negative sign. I mean, what I am trying to say is, when it was root of minus 7, we replaced it as root of 7 into I. The minus sign is taken as root of minus 1 is I, and as it is. Similarly, B square minus 4AC can be written as 4AC minus B square, and the negative sign inside the root is written as I. Take minus common in this. If you take minus common in this root of minus 1 is I And after taking minus common, b square minus 4ac will become 4ac minus b square. So you can remember this formula also, isn't it? Okay, let it be. So very easy question. If 2 plus 3i is the root of a quadratic equation with real coefficients, then other root of the equation will be, just change the sign of plus 3i to minus 3i. Option B. Very good. Clap, clap, clap. Moving on. How to find square root. Now these are the 10 steps. I believe you all have studied this chapter. You all have learned already the methods to find the square root. So if you note this down, it will really help you a lot. I'm going to apply this method in the next two questions. The first step, let the square root of whatever complex number you are finding be equal to x plus iy. So let the square root be equal to x plus iy. In the end, you are finding x plus iy. In the end, you want to find what is x and what is y. Finding x and y is the target. Square both sides, compare the real and imaginary parts. You will get two equations. And then you will use an identity. This is the fixed identity you are going to use. These 10 steps are fixed. X square plus y square the whole square is x square minus y square the whole square plus 4 times x square y square. Substitute the value of x square minus y square. Substitute the value of 4x square y square. And you will get again another third equation. So you have total of 1, 2, 3 equations. Solve the first and third equation simultaneously and that will give you the value of x and y. First and third will always give you. Using the second equation, you will decide the sign of x and y. Whether x should be positive or negative, y should be positive or negative. That will be decided from second equation. Once your x and y is obtained, that is nothing but the root. And now whatever I said, let me show it with the help of an example. What's it, guys? Are you ready to find the square root of 3 plus 4i? Here we go. The solution starts. Let square root of 3 plus 4i be equal to x plus iy. What was the second step? Square on both the sides. 3 plus 4i will be equal to x plus iy the whole square. A plus b the whole square formula. It's a square plus b square. Now iy the whole square will be minus y square. I square is minus 1, y square is y square. So iy the whole square is minus y square plus 2xy into I. Compare the real parts and imaginary parts. You will get x square minus y square is equal to 3. That's your equation number 2. Oh, sorry, 1. We have got the first equation. And imaginary parts 2xy is equal to 4. Second equation. Got the two equations. What we do after getting two equations, always use identity to get the third equation. What's the identity? Writing here, people. X square plus y square the whole square is x square minus y square the whole square plus 4 times x square y square. After you write the identity, what we do? Substitute 1 and 2 in this. X square minus y square from equation 1 is 3. So 3 square plus 2xy is 4. We want 4x square y square. Square equation 2. When you square equation 2, you will get 4x square y square equal to 16. 3 square 9, 4 square 16, that's equal to 25. And on taking square root, it's 5. Why not plus minus 5? Because square of two numbers, when you add, you will get a positive number only when you add two squares, not negative, not positive. This is your equation number 3. After you get 1, 2, 3, you will be solving 1 and 3 simultaneously. Equation 1 I am writing here and add them. Y square cancel. 2x square is equal to 8. X square is equal to 4, x is equal to plus or minus 2. And once you get x, substitute it in any of the equation, either 1 or 3. Suppose y square will be 5 minus 4, y square will be equal to 1 and y equal to plus minus. Right, we got the value of x and y. Guys, we are at step number 8. Find x and y are done. Now equation 2 is going to play a very crucial role, that is in deciding the sign of x and y. Look at equation 2. Product multiplication of x and y is a positive number. If multiplication is positive, that means both the numbers are positive or both the numbers are negative. Do you understand? 2 into 2, 4, or minus 2 into minus 2, 4. So both are positive or both are negative. Confirmed? Therefore, x equal to 2, y equal to 1, or x equal to minus 2, y equal to minus 1. When x is 2, y is 1, you will say square root is x plus iy, 2 plus I. Or when both are negative, square root is x plus iy, that is minus 2 minus I. These are the answers. The square root of 3 plus 4i, please do not say it's root 3 plus 2i. Square root of 3, root 3, square root of 4 is 2. No. There is a proper 10 steps which you have to follow in order to get the answer. Is it understood very well? What happens if this product is equal to negative, xy is equal to minus 4? If the product is negative, then in that case you will say x should be positive, y negative, or x positive, x negative, y positive. One positive and other negative. Both should be of different signs. If they are of different signs, product will be negative. One positive, one negative, other positive. That is what we will do in second question. So I can ask you all to take this as a homework question and let me know the answer in the comment section. What will be square root of minus 15 minus 8i? Do solve. It will be very helpful. Follow all the 10 steps. Take a screenshot of those 10 steps and start solving, guys. Next, talking about relation between roots and coefficients. If this is your quadratic equation, then sum of roots we have studied in class 10. Alpha plus beta, let's say the roots are alpha and beta. Sum of roots alpha plus beta is minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of x square minus b by a. And product of roots SP. Product of roots alpha into beta is constant upon coefficient of x square c by a. Studied already. Now using this, if you have to form a quadratic equation, you know the sum of roots, you know the product of roots. How to form a quadratic equation? It is x square minus sum of roots into x plus product of roots, isn't it? Equal to 0. That is x square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha into beta equal to 0. If you know alpha plus beta, if you know alpha into beta, you can form a quadratic equation. If you know quadratic equation, you can find out alpha plus beta, you can find out alpha into beta. This was for quadratic. Soon I am going to tell you what will be sum of roots and product of roots in cubic as well as biquadratic equations. S and P, sum and product. Wait for that. Till then, we'll try these two questions to understand about alpha and beta more. This is your quadratic equation, x square plus 2x plus 3 equal to 0. Find alpha square plus beta square, alpha cube plus beta cube. Use your identities, guys. Just the identities will help you. Alpha plus beta the whole square is alpha square plus beta square plus 2 times alpha into beta. Now from the quadratic equation, sum, or I can say alpha plus beta, sum is minus b by a, minus 2. Product is c by a, 3. Right, bacho? Use it now. What are you waiting for? Minus 2 the whole square is equal to alpha square plus beta square plus 2 into 3. Rearrange. 2 square 4, 4 minus 6. How? minus 2. Correct? And now moving on to alpha cube plus beta cube. What is the formula for alpha cube plus beta cube? We can use the form. Okay, let me change the color. Alpha plus beta the whole cube is equal to, okay, alpha cube plus beta cube plus 3 alpha beta, alpha plus beta. Isn't it the formula? Am I correct with the formula? A cube plus b cube plus 3ab a plus b. Again, alpha plus beta is known to us. Minus 2 the whole cube is equal to be found out. 3 alpha beta is 3 and alpha plus beta is minus 2. Rearranging, alpha cube plus beta cube, 2 cube minus 8, and this 3 3s are 9, 2s are 18. Minus 18 will go there as plus 18. That makes it 10. Now you all must be wondering, which I also wondered at first, how come the sum of square of two numbers is negative? Remember, this alpha and beta, these are not real numbers. In real number, we say that sum of squares of two numbers should be positive, not in terms of complex number. This alpha and beta, they can be roots, and roots are complex conjugate pairs. Now just imagine if I say alpha plus beta, one of the root is minus 1 plus 2i, root 2i, and the other root is minus 1 minus root 2i. This root 2i cancel, but minus 1 answer is minus 2, isn't it? Similarly, if you square and add, let's say alpha square is minus 1 plus root 2i and beta square is minus 1 minus root 2i. This thing will cancel and you will get alpha square plus beta square equal to minus 2. So such a thing can happen in complex number only, not in the real number system. I hope this confusion would have been cleared by now. Easy peasy, also breezy. Alpha square upon beta the whole raised to 1 by 3 plus beta square upon alpha the whole raised to 1 by 3 will be how much if this is your quadratic equation? Let's analyze, find the sum of roots, product of roots, and see what we can play with. Sum of roots is minus b by a, that's 3 by 8. Product of roots is c by a, 27 by 8. 27, 3, 8. Okay. Here, cross multiplication is a good idea. What say? Separating the indices. B raised to 2 by 3, the powers have been separated. And now we simply cross multiply. So alpha raised to 2 by 3 into alpha raised to 1 by 3 will be alpha raised to 2 by 3. Powers will get added and give us 1. Similarly, cross multiply, powers get added to give us 1. Denominator is alpha beta the whole raised to 1 by 3. Beauty. That's the beauty of mathematics. 3 upon 8, the whole divided by 27 by 8 cube root. 3 upon 8, the whole divided by cube root of 27 is 3, cube root of 8 is 2. Can we say that 3 gets cancelled and 2 by 8 is equal to 1 by 4? Check, check, mic check. Very good. Perfect. So now we are understanding what happens with sum of roots and product of roots. Let's talk about this cubic and biquadratic equation. For a cubic equation, sum S1, S2, P for product. Biquadratic S1, S2, S3, P for product. S1, alpha, beta, gamma. Cubic equation, 3 roots. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Biquadratic, 4 roots. Sum of all the roots, alpha, beta, gamma is minus b by a. Sum, again, alpha, beta, beta, gamma, alpha, delta, beta, delta. I mean, not delta is not there. Alpha, beta, beta, gamma, alpha, gamma is c by a. Third coefficient upon first. So everywhere in the denominator, you will find a. The denominator is a. Here it's b by a. Why? Coefficient of b is x square and coefficient of a is x cube. 1 by x. Single 1. Right. C by a. Coefficient of c is x cube. 1 by x square. Two terms. And alpha, beta, gamma minus d by a. So b by a, c by a, d by a. When to put plus, when to put minus, There is a very simple logic to understand, to remember that. Whenever the number of terms are even, plus sign, number of terms are odd, minus sign. Shortcut. Even, plus sign, odd, minus sign. Can you see? 1, 1, 1. One term is added. One term. Each term 1. So 1 means odd, minus. Here 2 terms. 2 is even, plus. 3 terms. 3 is odd, minus. 1 term, odd, minus. 2 terms, even, plus. 3 terms, odd, minus. 4 term, even, plus. So alpha, beta, gamma, delta, 4 roots, minus b by a. Then pair it up, you will get minus c, plus c by a, because pairing 2 terms. Then 3 tripling, minus d by a, minus sign, you know why, and then double pairing, e by a. The last term constant upon, product is always constant upon coefficient of highest degree. With this, you can also attempt questions of that sort. Here is a polynomial equation, cubic equation, and we write the relationship. We have to write the relationship between zeros and coefficient. What do you mean by zeros? You have to write the relationship between roots and coefficients. We just saw the relationship between roots and coefficients, right? Relationship, that means you have to write the sum and product thing. Okay. It's a cubic equation. So 3 roots, alpha, beta, gamma. S1, S2 will be pairing up alpha, beta, beta, gamma, and alpha, gamma. S3, there is no S3, and P, tripling alpha, beta, gamma. What was the formula? Minus B by A, C by A, minus D by A. Odd, even, odd. In the question given to us, if you compare it with ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d equal to 0, what is b? Minus 5. So minus of minus 5 by a is 3. This gives us 5 by 3. C by a, c is how much? Minus 11, and a is 3. Minus 11 by 3. No need of. Minus d by a. How much is d equal to? Minus 3. A is equal to plus 3. Minus of minus plus 1. Can you all see the relation between roots and coefficients is established very well? Great. So once again, just recalling, we are focusing on this part where the discriminant is less than 0, guys. Discriminant is less than 0. Let me take this question for all of you, an interesting one. If A, B, C are real, then find the nature of roots. That is, talk about the discriminant. Will the nature be real, unequal, real, equal, or not real, imaginary? For this quadratic equation, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Let's go for calculating the discriminant. What say, guys? Shall we calculate the discriminant? All of you ready? B square minus 4ac. B square is your minus 2 times a plus b plus c, the whole square. Minus 4, a is 3 and c is this entire constant term. ab plus bc plus ac. Now you have to simplify this RHS and find out whether discriminant is positive, negative, or equal to 0. Square. 4 times a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2ac plus 2bc. Right, the formula is correct for a plus b plus c the whole square. Minus 4 3s are 12 times ab plus bc plus ac. Throughout, let's take 4 common. In the bracket, a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2ac plus 2bc minus, if you take 4 common, 3 will be left, 3ab, 3bc and 3ac. Rewriting the terms inside, you can see something is happening with AB and 3AB. 2AB minus 3AB is minus AB minus BC minus AC. And we can very clearly say that this bracket is going to be greater than 0 and therefore the roots are going to be real and unequal. And why is this bracket greater than 0? If you look at the formula of A minus B minus C the whole square. A minus B minus C the whole square formula. You will realize that that formula has minus 2 and still it is positive. If you are removing 2AB, 2BC, 2AC, still that is a perfect square, a positive number. Now you are removing only one of them. That means it has to be greater than 0. You understood? Like it, and if you haven't, listen it again and try to write it on a piece of paper. Next question, if one root of this equation is 4, while this equation has equal roots. Equal roots, what does equal roots mean? Equal roots mean discriminant will be 0 for this equation. And what is discriminant for this equation? B square minus 4ac is p square minus 4q equal to 0. There is some other information given. One of the root is 4. If one of the root is 4, don't you think that 4 will satisfy? 4 will satisfy this equation. Roots will always satisfy. 4 square 16 plus 4p plus 12 equal to 0. 4p equal to 26, 28 minus 28 and p equal to minus. Substitute p. Minus 7 the whole square minus 4q has equal roots, now. Correct. 4q is equal to 49 and q will be equal to 49 by. Answer is option A. Great. Super. Good for all of you. One more. If roots of this equation is real and unequal, this means discriminant greater than 0. Then the roots of this equation will be what? Okay. From the first equation, what are we understanding? For the first equation, what is discriminant? For the first equation, discriminant is minus b square minus 4ac. So b square is 1 minus 4ac will be 4ab greater than 0. 1 minus 4ab is greater than 0. Okay. From the second equation, what is discriminant? B square, that's 4 root ab, the whole square minus b square minus 4ac, 4 into 1. 16ab minus 4, which is equal to 4 times 4ab minus 1. Guys, what is this 4ab minus 1? 1 minus 4ab is greater than 0, so 4ab minus 1 will be less than 0. Just multiplying with a minus sign, that reverses the inequality. 4ab minus 1 is less than 0. That means, can I say it is 4 into a negative number, discriminant is less than 0, and it means the root of second equation will be imaginary. Great. Understood. Bingo. Moving on to the last part of this chapter, which is graph of quadratic equations. I'm just giving you a brief idea, like if you see a quadratic graph, where to trace alpha and beta, where will be the roots? What should you understand from the graph? The quadratic equations are parabolic in nature. We have studied parabola class 11, y equal to x square equal to 4ay types. Yes, those are parabolic curves. So all of the curves are going to be parabolic. Whenever you see in a quadratic equation, whenever you see the coefficient of x square greater than 0, the graph is going to be upward facing. And whenever the coefficient of x square is negative, it starts with like minus 3x square something. Coefficient of x square is negative. The graph is going to be downward facing, down, up. Remember when? Okay, that's about coefficient of x square. And discriminant will tell us something important. If discriminant is greater than 0, the graph is going to intersect the x-axis at 2 points. The 2 points will be 2 roots. The 2 points will be 2 roots. The graph will intersect at 2 points. 2 points will be 2 roots, alpha, beta. If discriminant is equal to 0, the graph will just touch the x-axis. And the point where it touch will be the root, one root only, real root. The x-axis is real axis, okay? So on real axis, if it cuts at 2 points, 2 real roots. If it touches, 1 root. And if discriminant is less than 0, it will not touch the graph, neither intersect. It will either lie above or below. Above when A is positive, below when A is negative. All the cases I have taken here discussed on this graph. If you understand this graph, everything is done. First case, A positive, A positive, A positive. Can you see the graphs are upward? D positive, cut. D positive means it will cut the graph at 2 points. The 2 points are alpha and beta. That is the roots. If D equal to 0, it is touching the graph. And if D is less than 0, it is lying in the air, not touching. It doesn't have real roots. That's why it's not cutting the x-axis. Next three cases. A less than 0, less than 0, less than 0. Can you see graphs are facing downwards? All the three graphs downwards. D positive. Now because it's facing downwards, D positive means it should intersect the x-axis at 2 points. The 2 points are alpha and beta. Minus B by 2A plus D, minus B by 2A minus D. If D is equal to 0, it is downward facing but touching at only 1 point, minus B by 2A. And if D is less than 0, it's not touching the x-axis, it is lying in the air downwards, imaginary, no real roots. That was all that I wanted to discuss for this chapter, quadratic equations, from my side. I think I have discussed it enough. Now it's your turn to practice the questions and let me know your queries in the comment box. Thank you so much all of you for attending the session. Your very own Varsha ma'am will be back with another power pack performance, a power pack session for all of you. Take care guys. Keep smiling and laughing. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.